Welcome to the Chris Hanna Show, where business, as usual, gets a swift kick in the ass. If you're tired of the same old advice and ready to disrupt the status quo, you're in the right place. I'm cutting through the noise with bold strategies, unfiltered truths, and a no-nonsense approach to entrepreneurship, video marketing, and content creation. Buckle up, because it's time to level up, stand out, and dominate your market. This isn't just another podcast, it's a wake-up call for entrepreneurs and would-be aspiring solopreneurs who are all in. Let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Hanna, and if you've been staring at your social media wondering, why the fuck is nobody liking, commenting, sharing, or even acknowledging your posts, you're not alone. I've definitely been there, and there are posts that I will still do to this day that get no traction, nothing. I've got some tough love, though, for you today, too, though. If your content is getting zero engagement, no traction, no leads, no DMs, no action, the problem really isn't the algorithm. It might be you. You know, your posts aren't getting ignored because of bad luck. They're getting ignored because maybe you're boring. Maybe you're not solving a real problem and you're treating content like checking a box instead of the strategy that it deserves to be. So in this episode, I'm breaking down why posts often fall flat and how to actually maybe fix that. This is the episode that I wish I had years ago. So honestly, I'm very excited about this one. So let's go. I'm going to be real with you. When I first started All In Content, I thought I knew content. You know, I paid for coaching. I paid lots of thousands of dollars for it. I've been on social media for a long time, and I posted a lot and I followed a lot of people, and I thought I knew exactly how to do it because I had, slowly started building out my gear. I started getting the experience. I had strategies and I started posting. I was sharing tips. I was sharing behind the scenes. I was showing off some client work. And guess what? Initially, it was crickets. No leads, no business. I remember one post I did. I spent about probably 45 minutes to an hour crafting it. It was a Canva post. Well designed, looked beautiful. Caption had 3 tips. I added some hashtags. I posted it. Sat back and waited. I thought, this post will be so good. I'm going to get some business from it. I had 1 like. I think it probably was from my mom. And I had no leads. And I remember thinking, like, what the fuck? I'm doing this for a living. Why is this not landing? Like, this is so good. And then I hit it on the head. It really hit me, I guess, more than anything else on the head. I was making content about me, not for the people that I wanted to work with. I was sharing what I thought was valuable, not what they needed to hear. I wasn't triggering emotion, and I wasn't solving real problems. I wasn't being bold, I was being safe. And the market, which is the audience, doesn't reward safe. The market rewards clarity, confidence, and honestly, I didn't have that. Once I shifted my approach, once I stopped trying to look professional and start speaking like a human with an actual opinion, everything changed, right? I started getting people DMing me, wanting to learn more. I started realizing the concept of lurkers and how many people just sit in the background and watch and maybe read and follow you, but don't engage. And I had people starting to say, it's like, hey, I feel like you're talking directly to me. I went to a networking event actually last night. And somebody said that. They said, I'm watching all your content. They don't like, they don't share, they don't comment anything, which is I know 100% I need to work with you. She goes, because your content speaks to me now. That's the difference. That's the difference of how you go from being ignored to impossible to ignore. So let's break this down. There are 3 big reasons why your content is probably invisible right now. And I guarantee you, you're guilty of at least one of them. And I know I was very guilty of a lot of these as well. So this is stuff that I've learned. I'm trying to actively correct, and it's still hard to do, but it's hard. You're talking to everyone, so you're really talking to no one. Sometimes your posts are too vague, they're too broad, they're too vanilla. You're out here posting 5 tips to grow your business. Stay motivated. Hey, we're here to help. Cool. So is everyone else. But what business? What kind of help? Who the fuck are you even talking to? Because your audience isn't everyone. It's maybe the burnt out entrepreneur who hasn't posted in 3 months because they're overwhelmed. Obviously, that's all in content. That's who I help. The local business who's maybe paying for shitty ads and they're tired of it. The solopreneur who's juggling 14 tasks and has no idea what to do next. See, you got to get specific. In some respects, your content needs to niche the fuck down. Maybe in your language, in your tone, your examples. So you speak to one person per post. You make it feel like a DM, not a press release. This is why I think it's so important to batch create content, right? When you create content at scale, one post might not resonate with somebody, but somebody might see another post that maybe does, right? Have more and more content that goes out, that pushes it out there to the world, and you have a better chance of actually winning. Now, the next thing that might also impact your content performing well, maybe your hook sucks. Like, this is a big one, and you see it across social media, or at least I do, probably because everybody that I follow is in this creation space. But everyone talks about it, right? If your first line doesn't slap someone in the face, they scroll. You've got such little time to really make a connection. We live in a scroll-happy world where attention spans are shorter than anything else. That means, here's a tip. Doesn't cut it. Check out this post. Doesn't work. Happy Friday is not a hook. Hey guys, doesn't work. Hey, my name is blah, 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 also is going to fall flat. You need bold, curiosity, punching lines like, most businesses waste money on video, and here's why. DIY content is killing your growth. Or this one mindset cost me thousands. Those might make people stop. Make them feel something. Maybe want to tune in for the next couple of seconds. Confuse them, challenge them, trigger curiosity, maybe be a little controversial. Just don't be boring. The third thing I think that's also important is that you're not creating conversations, you're broadcasting. Like, this one's huge. You're treating social media like a billboard instead of what it is, right? If all your posts are, look at our offer now, here's our latest video, book now, congrats. You're probably a robot. Ask questions, share stories, get vulnerable, talk about what's really happening in your business. I think that too many people are only showing the positive side as well. I think you can get a lot of traction by showing something that's maybe not going so well. If you want a boost, maybe you should try this today. Just be honest. You know, how many times have you said you do video and maybe you didn't do it? Boom. That's real. That's raw. That's going to make people actually connect. That's going to maybe spark some comments, some people who agree, maybe some people who do DMs, maybe spark a conversation. I think you got to stop yelling at people. And even though I'm probably raising my voice during this podcast, but start talking with them. So here's the thing. I can tell you all the problems, but you're more like, okay, how do I fix it, Chris? So let's get tactical a little bit here. How to actually fix your social media starting today. I want you to start every post with a punch. Like, what's the first line? And I want you to make sure that it's almost like a trailer to a movie. If it doesn't grab attention in 2 seconds, rewrite it. And then number 2, get hyper specific. Instead of tips for content, say, if you're a Windsor business posting 3 times a week and still not getting leads, this is for you. See, what's much more powerful. Obviously, that's a relevant example to my world, but I think that is important. Next, post to one person, not the crowd. Think about maybe your favorite client, right? Their struggles, their questions, their wins. Speak to them, not at everyone. Another thing that I think is really beneficial, and I have seen this quite a bit, is that you got to ditch the over-designed posts. Sometimes the best content maybe is just, raw, or it's a screenshot with your real opinion. Maybe you don't need anything super fancy. You just need something that feels honest. And number 5, which I think is probably one of the hardest for me personally to do just based on time, and so I'm trying to figure out the best way to resolve this, is to engage before you post. Comment, like, reply, DM. Be active before you actually post any content. Because the algorithm isn't stupid. It rewards people who shows up and don't just drop a content and dip out. I think that's honestly, I look at my content, and I'll admit, like, I pump out a ton of content, and I don't have the highest, likes and comments and all that kind of stuff. And I think part of it is my engagement. I need to engage more. I know when I do engage beforehand, obviously things get a bit of a boost. So I think it's a big lesson that's learned, and I'm being transparent and honest here. So I think if you're tired of maybe making content that no one gives a shit about, I got you. We can batch record months of content together in 1.5 day session. No fluff, no overthinking, just content that's real and that's going to help you grow. So book now at allincontent.ca, or if you're a chamber member, again, you get a discount. That is available. But let's find a way to make your content unignorable. And here's the truth again, just to kind of close things off, and it might sting. The market, it doesn't owe you attention. You do have to earn it. If your content's falling flat, it's not the platform's fault. It's not the audience's fault. It's the message. The good news is, though, is that you can fix it. You just need to stop bullshitting, stop hiding behind filters, stop saying something, that doesn't really provide value. Again, I'm Chris Hanna. This is the Chris Hanna Show. If this episode maybe hit you in the chest, share it with a business owner who maybe needs a wake-up call. And until next time, remember, crickets are the result of caution. Clarity is what gets you clicks. All right, that's a wrap for today's dose of reality on the Chris Hanna Show. If you're fired up and ready to kick some serious ass, then I've done my job. But remember, knowledge without action is just wasted breath. So what are you going to do? Sit around and let opportunities pass you by? Or are you going to step up and take what's yours? The choice is yours, but don't expect sympathy if you choose the easy road. If you've got value from today's episode, smash that subscribe button, leave a review, or share it with somebody who needs a wake-up call. Don't keep this gold to yourself unless you're afraid of a little competition. Stay bold, stay hungry, and remember, always go all in. Until next time, this is Chris Hanna signing off. Now go out there and take what's yours.